Yeah, that's good. Good evening, everyone. This is Reverend Greg Kehn from Lilydale, and we're down in Lady Lake, Florida, and that's where we're broadcasting from today. And we'll do something a little different this time. We have quite a list of people here that have tuned in. So we're going to start with the first person that tuned in, and I'd like to take and work with a little bit of mediumship with each person if I can. And not so much a reading for the person, but I'd like to go ahead and work with each one of you. If we can do all of you this within this hour, that's great. And if not, I don't know how we can do all of it, but we'll see. Anyway, I'd like to take and have you think about how you do your mediumship, how you pick up, what you feel you're doing, and the ability to pick up. And I will try to work with that and see if we can tweak it a bit to make it even better and faster. I can talk all day about how to do it, but I think working with each individual and allow experience it in that form and also experience the guidance in that form might be really the best way of doing it. I know teaching a class in fellowship and things like that that I've been doing, I get to see the person, I get to work with the person, we communicate back and forth about how to do and what to do in a way to understand and believe. And I think that's really the best way of doing it. I've had it many times where I talk about how to do it, but not always are we experiencing it individually. So I'd like to start with that. I'd like to start with the first person that signed up.
That is Jessica.
Jessica.
It's not letting me unmute her.
Okay.
Hang on.
Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How are you, Greg?
How are you?
Very good. Getting better.
Getting better. That's good. Now, you've been working with your mediumship?
Yes, but now I try to do more deep meditation
Yes.
because I had many experience when I was a young kid, and then I closed by myself because I don't want to hear. I don't want to, I didn't like that. So I
Yeah.
closed. But now I realize I want to know by myself more.
Yes.
And then I try to do more deep meditation
Yes.
because I want to know when I hear there or they send a message, I want to know who is the one sending message. Because now I realize I got the help of many boys. But before, just I forgot or I closed, just I focus, I hear the bad voice,
Well, the one
Now I
thing
get it's good. So that's why I try to do more.
well, the one thing I think is important as you're shifting your belief system then to being open, and it's not just the deep meditation. I think having that quietness and that meditative energy is wonderful. And I think that's very healing too. But I'm seeing you needing to, on a conscious level, allow yourself to accept the fact that they sometimes give us things that we're not always aware of getting it. And then after the events occur, sometimes it clicks and says, wait a minute, I thought that or I felt that, it came to me. And I feel like you have a wonderful ability that is a little bit, like you stacked some stone on top of it and held it down. And now it's like, I want to take the stone away and really get it opened up and allow it to work. And I feel there's a part of you that likes the idea of feeling you're in control of it and feeling that you have say over it. And that's fine. I think we all do that to some extent. But I feel the need for you to really look at the idea of taking the weight off of it and just allow it to come through. And when you're in that meditative level, let's start a way of thinking that is they're not needing you to judge it. You're not needing to judge it as to what it is and who it is and how it is and have to have their name and giving you a message. Because I have many guides that come to me that I know the vibration, but I have no name, and the name does not matter because we need to send our thought and prayer to God, and God will ordain the loved ones in spirit to help us and guide us and uplift us. And you're in the past would have been very, very open. And now I feel like there was that shutdown energy, and now you're breaking through that again. But remember, you don't have to be in control of those things. I always trust spirit with what they're coming through with. I don't worry about it. I held them responsible. They hold themselves responsible, and they'll work with you and through you. So don't feel like, if they can give us a message and you don't necessarily know who the guide is, that's okay. And to allow it to happen, because once we have a tested guide where they're coming to us and giving us accuracy and depth of what's really going on, we're needing to allow that trust to be there and not debate it. Okay.
Is that possible to be that sometimes now I can see when I was a child, like 10 years old,
Yes.
after they come to me to, talk to me. Is that possible?
Yes.
By myself when I was a child.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel that with my life all the time. I have things come to me in that form, and there's a need for you to realize that what you did as a child, it's not gone. It's only like you've stacked rocks on top of it to hold it down and not allow it to emerge and come out. And now you're realizing that as you let go of that and you clear the way for it, it'll come back to you in a clear manner. And there's a part of you that's wanting to make sure that you're in charge of it. And I want to say, we're not in charge of our next breath. We're needing to relax and know that Spirit's helping and guiding, and they're there with love and protection. And to not feel any worry or concern over that, there's no need.
Okay.
You're learning to trust.
To trust. So because it makes me feel whenever my kids, no, by myself talking to me. So that's why I feel like a weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there's a need for you to reach that point of trust, and then it's going to work so much better. Because, honey, always remember this: you don't have anything missing. It's all there. You just need to relax to allow it to have it happen.
okay.
Okay?
Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you. Who was next?
Next person is Richard A.
Richard A.
Yes.
Richard A. How are you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Good. Real good. Been enjoying the nice weather and having the windows open. It's been great.
Where you are? Or where?
Yeah, we're down in Florida, and we've been having the windows open for days now, and it's been so nice to wake up in the morning with the windows and the breeze, and it's been great.
Okay. I open my window too once in a while, but only for about 10 minutes at a time, or else the snow gets in.
Now, when you're meditating and you're working with your mediumship, how do you work with your mediumship? In what way do you feel you're channeling it?
Sorry, in what way?
In what way do you feel you're channeling it, and what do you feel would be an improvement there?
Well, I get feelings. I don't get words or video or
Mm-hmm.
audio. I tend to either something feels right or it doesn't.
Yes, that's good. Now, does this happen not only when you're meditating, but you're going through your regular day?
Yeah, when I'm going through my regular day, right?
Okay. Little thing that may enhance that. When you start out in the morning and you're, say, going to work, whatever it may be, put out that energy and thought that it's like, please let me know, awaken me to the awareness of what can be guiding me and the loved ones and the teachers that are guiding me. And put out that thought more, a little more intense, and you'll start to have things coming through. And I'll classify it this way. There's a level of importance that's very important, and then we have levels of importance that it's sort of neat to know. And it may not be important, it's not going to save our life because there's no real problem, but it's the idea of knowing things and practicing that ability to feel and know these things as they come to us. I feel your ability to practice and know is working well. And there's a need for you to allow it to relax a little more, because at times you override it with the conscious mind.
Okay.
And I feel there's a level of trust that you're reaching to allow it to happen that's really been a good thing. It's been very positive.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next one is Rosanna.
Rosanna?
Hey,
Hi, Rosanna. How are you?
I'm doing good. You're in
Good.
sunny Miami, so.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing.
Mhm.
So you're down in Miami, and how do you work with your mediumship?
I hear a lot of just like I'm here kind of noises or knocks,
Mm-hmm.
shuffling of papers. Um, I did notice that when we were doing the whole dream thing, I did have a couple of dreams that were very vivid and did sh- give me, now that I look back, gave me some things that were going to happen.
Yes.
So I had like some, I guess, foreseeing.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been, since I've opened myself up to being more aware and trying to use my gifts more that I had blocked, just like Jessica, for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm starting to get feelings as well, like gut feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So basically everything is kind of very heightened for me.
Well, let's say it in this form. Not only is it very heightened, but I feel you did go through a period that I would not term it shut down, but you'd have been limited for a while.
Mhm,
And now I feel like the limitation has gone away, and
mhm.
you're in a sense relearning to allow it to occur. Because there's a part of you that's very analytical, and you get into the analytical world and mind and everything. And boy, when you're analytical, you're analytical.
Yeah.
And I felt the energy there that I'd like to say practice the idea of starting the day with the fact that I'm asking spirit to step in at everything in my life during the day, that I may know and sense and feel their presence and their guidance, and ask them to help you practice your mediumship, because your mediumship is there and it works very well. But I feel that you have an on and off switch, that you're trusting it and you're letting it flow. And then all of a sudden, the conscious mind jumps in and says, okay, I got to do this now. And you just dive right into the conscious level. And it's like, I see spirits standing there with their hands in the air, wondering what happened.
Yeah. And that's
And
very much me, yes.
And you also been going through a thing recently that I'm not sure it's family, but I'll just say people around you, close to you. You've reached a point where there's a few people that really you're close to, but they don't understand you and they don't understand your abilities and they don't have the same belief systems.
Mhm.
And I'm seeing you beginning to spend a little more time with the people that have the belief systems and the more open energy, and allow that to be a part of your advancement and practicing with them a bit on what you're feeling and sensing. Because you have a few people that I want to say, you may love them and care about them, but they can be very draining to you at times.
Mhm.
And you've been noticing now that you really have to separate yourself at times. It's almost like pulling a distance away and unplug the cord so they can't pull from you anymore.
Yeah.
And you have a guide around you that's stepping in. You've been noticing recently during the day more flickering of light around you than normal,
Yes, definitely.
because I see this entity with you and they're showing me the flickering of light. And they said, each time you see the light, admit to them that you recognize they're there and thank them for coming. And it is really basically a practice that helps you becoming more honed in on picking up more quickly, more easily, and more accurately. So
Okay.
when you're having that happen, you don't have to do it verbally, but I mean, in your mind, thank them for coming, appreciate their presence, and ask them also, is there a message? Because that way you're giving them an opportunity and your conscious mind is then trained on the fact of listening and not going off on something else.
Okay.
Because you have a guy that's wanting to work with you deeper and more, and it's going to work very well for you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless.
Next one is Richard D.
Richard D. Richard D.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Haven't been doing too much lately, but I get a lot of mine as, I don't know if it's not audio, but kind of visual. I can see, but not really see, but it comes to me
Yes.
type of thing. And then I do my automatic writing and drawing faces down to connect more.
Hmm. Well, let me say it this way. I feel the way you're channeling what Spirit's doing and giving you, it's something that I feel will gradually speed up, that you're not going to have to feel like you're taking as much time on it as you normally have, and it's going to come through more clear for you. And I have a feeling here you're going to start to see things more than just feel them. You're going to start to see them more. And remember something, there's a part of you that can be very, very watchful, very picky about what you're doing and how you're doing it. And you want to know how it's working. And it's disturbing you at times to feel like, all right, there's a new twist or a new feeling. And I want to say a part of you is trying to analytically analyze it. And I want to start throwing out the thought in your mind, okay, I'm trusting, give me more that I would understand, and just allow the flow to be there. Because I'm seeing you with Spirit, sometimes it's almost like you're saying to them, stop and go. All right, I got this, and then next, and I got that, and then next. And I feel an energy there that they can give you a great deal more, actually more quickly than what at this time they're doing.
Oh, okay.
And I feel that flow of energy will be increasing. And it's not so much what they're doing, but what you're doing, because you're trying to, in an analytical manner, document it, be it drawing, be it the feeling, what did I feel with it? And there's a part of you still analyzing some. And I feel the need to step out of the analyzing and go with the trust, because I see some things coming through very vividly for you, and it's going to be another level beyond what you now are used to.
Yeah, it's that our conscious mind is a real block on everything, it seems like, and you got to trust it more, and that's the hard part of just trusting.
I think it's very difficult at times. You know, I had a lady say to me one time when I was reading for her, she's, I can't believe what you tell me at times, and I know it's the truth and I know it's reality, but I don't know how in the world you pick that up. And that's what I find, that really the bottom line is really the trust energy of knowing that your guides are with you and knowing that they know. And there's no question about them knowing. And that we're learning to trust what they give us without having to think it over or analyze it at our own level.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is to, once it comes in, and not doubt what they're giving you, it seems like.
Hmm. Because I feel like there's times you've gotten things, and after you analyzed it out, it still come up to the same answer they gave you originally.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we had all that energy put into the conscious level, and we needed to let the conscious level drift away and go with the intuitive level. You know, there are times when I've worked with groups of people, and Spirit will come through and I'll move from one person to another with messages. And as I'm doing that, I feel the shift of energy, that it's a whole new energy of guide or teacher that's coming through. And I don't sit back and debate it or think about it in a context of, okay, you know, what are they giving me? I just let it be a flow through me. And I'm seeing that's one of the things you've had a frustration with, is feeling like it's harder for you to get it to be the flow through you.
Yeah, it seems like there's something blocking all the time.
Well, I think you're going to analyze in some ways. I think we all do. But I feel like because you're setting that pattern now of deliberately going beyond that and not allowing that, I think that'll change considerably. So keep at it.
Okay. Appreciate it. God
You're
bless y'all.
welcome. God bless.
Next person is Caroline.
Caroline,
Hello, how are you all?
good. How are you doing?
Good. So the minute after I logged on to your show, all of my lights went out and the circuit blew. So
Uh-huh.
I had to use my iPhone wireless connection to dial back into the show. And that's the first time I've ever lost power in this house that I'm renting in Vegas. So I find that to be funny.
That's interesting. I
Yeah.
was wondering why I was seeing you in a shadow form here. I thought you were still in the body.
Yeah, no, I'm here. It's just that I wanted to stay logged in instead of trying to go find the circuit breaker. So
Yeah.
I guess the issue that I have is I do hear messages from people, and I don't know who they are, but I have a bipolar sister in an entire family back in Pittsburgh. Well, not all of them are in Pittsburgh. That they have character disorders.
Yeah.
Control power. So I am constantly being besieged by their energy, and I suppose it's because they're trying to take my energy or drain my energy. I'm not sure. So now I'm kind of trying to feel my way through this as to when I'm actually getting a message from spirit versus getting, this just constant, I don't know, it's just nagging. It's
Well, let's look at the clarity. Number one, I feel you do have the ability to feel things and sense things that's very strong for you. And I feel an energy there with your family when you're talking about family. I really see the sister that's bipolar. Her energy is an energy that she's really very psychic.
I know she is, but she's also insane. She's nuts.
Well, I'll put it in this form. Her psychic ability is channeled into manipulative energies. And if she can present what she needs to present to have the outcome she desires, that's what she works on. And you have been connected in that energy because they're family and you love them and you care. But I feel like you've begun to reach out now beyond that loop of energy and realize that you have your own life and that you can be very deliberate in communicating and sharing with them, but you're not going to be allowing them to, in a sense, channel energy from you. Because I'm seeing your ability in mediumship to actually be quite good. I just feel with you that you throw a switch on and off at times, that sometimes you're in the flow of it and you allow it and it works really, really well. And then there's times you're like almost like flipping back and forth on it. Do I allow it? Don't I allow it? I need to open the door to it more. And I see it coming through more for you and that you're going to have more clarity. Plus, remember something, sometimes we have to take certain people around us, be it family, be it friends, it doesn't matter who it is. And every once in a while, I know in my life I've had to do it where it's like, God bless them somewhere else, preferably further away, and don't allow them to influence your energy. You're surrounding them in light, you're blessing them with the most positive energy, but you're not allowing them to pull on you. And would you recognize you're going through a period now with your mediumship that you've been thinking about it more about being involved with a group or organizational energy that you could sit with and develop things with. And I feel like you don't have that right at hand right now.
Oh yeah, I was always thinking, hey, when I retire from my job, I can go off and do this full time and not be dependent on your 9 to 5 salary.
Well,
But
let me say it to you this way. I feel an energy with you that I want to say that's a great idea, but let's utilize it now in your everyday life and be a focus of allowing yourself to let that flow occur. Because as you do that, it's better in your life, it's advancing your life, and even in a work or financial manner, it'll advance you more. So there's an energy there that, leaving it sit on the shelf for a while is really not the answer for you. And to be able to utilize it in your everyday life is really the answer.
oh, I would love to do that. It just sometimes it comes in spurts, like when I'm in the dentist chair and the dentist's father sends me a message about his son before I'm in the chair, and then I put it together when the dentist is telling me my father was a jack of all trades. Well, I had heard that message while I was driving on the way to the dentist's office.
Yeah.
And so it was sort of like and I just listened to the dentist. I didn't
Hmm.
know what to say to him. I didn't know, hey, your dad's here with you right now. I didn't,
Yeah. Well,
I
I
haven't
know
gotten to that point.
there's some situations certainly you could share with someone, and there's some situations that, you really can't. And I've run into that in my life many times. And I just surround them in prayer, and I put out the thought that please may you come through in a way that they would understand in some other form. And when you know you can't reach through, you put out that energy that they find another pathway or another medium in a sense to come through that they can communicate. And by doing that, it's going to work better because there's times you're on and off with the energy. And I felt the need to be on with the energy and to have that intent, programming that intent on a daily level that I desire to be in tune to these energies. And, you can do it quietly. I many times have sent people healing and messages without saying a word to them.
Oh, all right. Well, I didn't realize that I could do that. I don't know. I think I was just waiting for something to occur,
Right,
just like, well, tell
right.
me when to go. I'm ready. Let's do it.
And that's where by doing it in that form, the way I shared with you, I think that's so important because I have it happen all the time that I'll be in a restaurant and I'll feel things for people, and I just automatically surround them in light and bless them with the idea that something can come through and help them, and they may recognize, have the thought on their own even, that they may have the thought about a loved one or have the thought about a direction or a way of doing something, and I know it happens. I've seen it happen. So let's utilize that energy in that form because in a form it's healing, and you're picking it up and surround it in that light and give it to them in that form.
Okay, I certainly will. Thank you very much.
You're
That's
welcome. God bless.
Next person is Leah.
Leah,
Hi,
hi. How are you?
good. I wanted to ask you, I did take some classes, and when I was working, we were doing practice. And what
Mhm.
happened was when I was meditating and I raised my vibration, I felt like electricity coming through me, and it scared me. And then after that, I kind of shunned away from it. But when
Yeah,
we were doing practice readings with other people in our group. I had never met this person before, but I picked up on their daughter who had passed away. I lost a son, and it was interesting that we were paired together. But in trying to to bring a message through, my own pain made me want to give them something that really wasn't for them. But
yeah,
but then what ended up happening was was able to give them some things clairvoyantly, but a lot of my own pain, I think, got in the way of the actual, like me. I wanted to help them so much that I
mm,
probably gave them some things that weren't, you know, for them out of spirit. But then what ended up happening was I did connect with their daughter, but it was like after our time together was off, she was still with me. And she was
mhm.
younger and she loved to dance. And I was feeling all this energy in me, but it wasn't my energy. And so didn't know how to separate if you are getting energy from spirit and it's not your energy. Sometimes that energy isn't at the same vibration.
Yes.
And I'm not sure how you can receive that without getting that feeling of, like, I actually physically felt a shock run through me. It was kind of scared me.
Well, I've had it happen with exactly what you're saying there, feeling the electricity. I've
Hmm.
had it happen where the hair on the back of my neck would stand up. And what they're doing is they're stepping in, and the vibration works so well that you're feeling the energy flow. And it's something that you just, God bless them, and that's fine. And I'll give an explanation this way. Even if you're no longer talking to the person, the circumstance of talking to them is over with, but
Hmm.
yet you're feeling the spirit presence. And
Yes.
what you do is you help them because you're putting out the energy that I know you can reach your family. And I want to say that you put out this thought to them, you can reach your family, they love you and they care about you. And to have that energy flow where you're giving them permission to reach out in a way that the parents would understand. And that'll help them, and they're going to have some experiences then that would be a catalyst of you supporting that energy and helping it move forward.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Next person is Darlene.
Darlene.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Just to let you know, we are in a Tuesday night home circle.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us here.
Yes.
And we've been doing this now, all except for, well, most of us have been doing this for 20 years. We've been meeting for almost 20 years now, every Tuesday.
Wonderful. That's great. Please tell
Yeah.
everybody hi.
They hear you.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
all there.
Hey, thank you for tuning in.
So
Now, where's your home circle at? What city?
we're in Factoryville, Pennsylvania. We're about 30 minutes outside of Scranton.
Uh-huh. Wonderful.
Yeah. So we meditate, and we do ask for messages.
Mm-hmm.
I think the the problem that we're having, we're all doing, I think, pretty well after all this time with messages, but
Yes.
because we know one another so well after all this time, we're all good friends, and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to give a message because we know about who their parents were and their grandparents and what happened to them, and so
Yeah.
you don't know if you're being subjective or where it's coming from. But for myself, I get messages all the time. When
Yeah.
I meditate, I can easily get messages. But even when I don't, I can just be out somewhere and I'll get impressions from people.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me suggest something, and I'll say it this way. For the whole group, because you all know each other and you've been around each other so long, I find that I was in a circle. I had a circle when I lived in Ohio for 20 years. And the circle, we had the same people. We did not allow new people in. It was just the same group. And what I find is it reaches a level on a conscious basis that, yes, you know about each other's lives, family, and that kind of thing. But the next step is when you're relaxing with the idea of, now that we work as harmony so well together, that if there's a message for each other and it pertains to the regular life and the regular world, that's fine. That's great. Share it. But I find also there's another level that you step into. I'll give you an example. When the first space shuttle went up and exploded, I had seen that, and I asked the circle, the group, we prayed about the people, and they were thinking possibly, a couple of them said, well, when the next space shuttle was going up. And I said, I'm not sure it's this one, it'll be the next one. And when the teacher with the dark hair was boarding, I knew that was the one that was going to be exploding. And I kept sending out the thought, in that night at the circle, everyone kept seeing flashes of flame. And I said, well, we surround them in light. And what messengers are they to the world? And what messengers are they to the whole universe of energy? And to pray for them. And that they'd be the highest and most positive harmony come from those events. And hopefully it wouldn't happen in that form, And we put out that energy, and I walked out of my reading room, and I'm looking at the TV, and they keep repeating it over and over, showing it going up and exploding. And it was sad to see that, but it was also something that I really believe, the connection of spirit. There was a reason it occurred, much bigger than just the people that were the astronauts there. And the messages that are there, there's many times I pick up world events, or I'll pick up earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis, and I'll feel these things. And I've made mention to my wife a couple times about things, and next day on the news, here's things that are happening. And to go from knowing each other so well to, let's send out the healing energy for the planet around us and what events are going on. There's a lady that's in spirit now that I used to work with. She was a wonderful lady, and she was an astrologer, Carol Amon. She was in Ohio. And we used to take the world map and go to the point on the world that we felt something happening that needed prayer and needed healing. And as we had the world map laid out on this huge table, each one of us would, in our own way, go to where we felt drawn the energy and what would be huge changes. And then we'd work on it together. And she even utilized her astrology to say what was going on in that country, you know, what was going on in that peninsula, that area, the island, whatever it may be. And I feel for all of you there, it'd be a wonderful gift to the world to be working with healing and be able to send the energy out and see if you guys will pick up on certain things that are really, all of you chime in and say, wait a minute, you know, out of all of you, there's say 6 or 7 of you that are chiming in on the very same message or vibration. And to work with the healing energy and the helpful energy in that manner, I've seen results where things have changed immensely. And because you know each other so well, it actually enhances your ability to work with the world events even more.
That's a very great idea. Yeah, we'll definitely do. And we happen to have an astrologer in the group, so that'd be very helpful too.
Well, I found it very interesting. Carol Amon was just an amazing lady in her astrology and a very, very sweet person. And I remember her saying to me one day, she called me out of the blue and she said to me, she said, Gregory, she goes, told me the time during the day and the afternoon. She said, you're going to have a tough client. She says, just give them what you get and don't let them turn it around or debate the idea of what you're giving them because they wanted to have their answer their way. And I said to them, I said, I don't care how you ask the question, you're going to get the same answer. And they were not happy with me because they couldn't turn it around for the answer they wanted. And it was really interesting. It was the exact moment of what she said to me on the phone would occur. And I've had it happen like with electricity. I had 11 light bulbs blow out in my home in a few day time span. And it was something that I know Carol said to me. She says, do not do anything electrical. Do not work with anything electrical. Keep your fingers and hands off of things. And I could walk through the basement, and I even got to the point where I was paranoid about it, and I walked between the light bulbs instead of underneath them. Because I actually picked glass out of my shirt one time.
Ooh.
And they both blew out. So I understand astrology is a wonderful tool, and we would pick up on the energies of what's going on in the world and draw to where it is. And then they'd use the astrology. Carol would use the astrology to say, here's the country, here's the city, when was it started, you know, and went right down the line as to what effect would it have at that time in that particular small environment.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great idea. We do prayers for people, but and we do when there are things going on in the world, major. We do include those things in our prayers. But I like your idea,
Wonderful. I think that'd be great for you. Any other question?
guys. Anybody else? We're good. Thank you.
Hey, God bless you guys. Please keep at it.
All right. We'll see you at Lilydale.
Yep. Thank you for tuning in.
Next person is Bonnie.
Hi, Bonnie.
I'm in the group with Darlene,
Yes.
and I do get messages for people, and they're very strange. I'll see an extreme close-up of moss or little flowers or things like
Mhm.
that, and those are the messages for people. I don't quite know what to make of them.
Well, when you're having that happen and you don't have it as what you'd really consider a clear message, you know, if there's truly a message, I would send a thought out to spirit then that it's like, please show me what this really means, or bring me something I would understand. Bring it to me in a way that I would understand the message and understand the guidance, and you'd then be able to share it with them. And remember, we are in charge of allowing the level of communication to occur that we're choosing. And if we're doing it in a form where it's not the clarity, we can, in a sense, pull on the clarity and demand the clarity. You know, I have a lot of mediums that I've worked with and trained some, and I've said to them, you know, don't accept less than the perfection of what you know is really right. And I feel the need for you that you're picking it up, your channel's open, you're doing well, but a need for you to really step it up a bit in a sense of saying to them, I need to know something factual in guidance that means something to them.
Okay, thank you.
I feel that'll help immensely. And picking up nature, you may at times have nature come through as seasonal. In other words, when things would be occurring, it might even be a seasonal guidance. There's many times I've picked things up and said, okay, I see the buds on the trees, or I see the fall leaves, or I see the snow flying. You know, at times there's things that we would have happen in that form that would be a timing aspect. But when you were mentioning the ideas of flowers and moss, I feel you can push them a bit on the clarity and let them give you something that you could really know is a correct answer or guidance for them. Okay?
Okay, thank you. Mm-hmm.
Welcome. God bless.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Next person is Brooke Marie.
Brooke Marie.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good.
Cool. So, I'm trying to think of a specific question that I have, and I don't have one particularly, but I guess what you had to say about trust and trusting what spirit gives you.
Yes.
I find that I talk myself out of my abilities, and or not abilities, but yeah, the idea
Yes.
that I can give messages to people and I can provide people with healing.
Yeah.
And so I think that's my biggest struggle.
Well, let's say it this way. In other words, what you just said to me confirms the fact that you're having a hard time believing that you're worthy of giving that message and the validation of it of being reality and real and meaningful. And there's a part of you that's having a hard time accepting that it's coming through you. And you have a gift and ability. And I feel like you go back and forth on sometimes testing and questioning it. And when you get into the testing of it, boy, do you test things. And I feel an energy there to be aware of the testing you're doing is in a sense watering down what they can give you, because you in one way are saying, I don't trust it all yet to prove this to me more. On another level, no matter what they're proving to you, you're still questioning and testing yet.
Yes.
And I feel there's a part of you in a meditative way, you have your moments where you really do get some clarity that's really strong, that at times then you really couldn't shake that. You couldn't ignore it. You'd have to go with it. And you're learning to trust it more. And I feel that the deeper calmness you get into and you're clarifying to spirit, I'm here for you. I'm asking you to guide me. Please share something with me. It's unquestionably a guidance and it's right for me. And by putting out that thought and energy in that form, you're going to notice a change in energy for yourself. Plus, I don't see you having around you in the family energy the support in this belief system.
No.
I see you on your own in a sense of your belief system. And it's been hard because I don't really feel you have a group of people that would help you be anchored in what you're doing.
Very true.
And I want to say, let's start looking at groups of meditators, yoga, spiritualism. Maybe there's a spiritualist church a little ways away from you could visit. Something that you could be involved in. I'd love to see you be in a class where you have someone to practice with, as well as their belief system is solid and that they're committed to what they know and they believe. And I think that would help you a lot because you have some people around you that love to deal with the physical world on a very physical, conscious basis and really don't want to go beyond that because they don't want the responsibility.
Very true.
And I'm seeing you where you love them and you care, but sometimes you just like to shake them because it's like, you know, what they consider important in life, you look at as almost useless at times.
Very true. Very true.
And what you're looking at as important in life, I'm seeing you starting to cultivate more of a trust of allowing it. Because remember, forcing something to occur is not allowing it, it's trying to make it happen. If we allow it to happen because we've done it through thought and prayer, we're going to have incidents happen that's going to be very strong, very clear, and very guiding. And you will have it happen more. it'll come through more clear for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Next person is Lucille.
Lucille.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good.
All right. Well, I think for me, I have been very consciously asking Spirit for increased mediumship abilities, stronger connection, more opportunities. When I began mediumship, I was primarily clairvoyant. And now I feel my knowing and clairaudience are equally as strong. And I've been remembering to ask Spirit for, more information when I need it. And I'm finding that they often, show me a set of stairs if I'm a little stumped, and it's an opportunity now I know to go and check with the Akashic records.
Well, that's an energy there, but what I felt also the symbol of the stairwell would be, let's go to the higher level and ask them for more. And I feel that that would be a good energy. Plus, you're learning to trust a bit, where in the past, you really felt like, okay, show me something that's unquestionable, and I could then share that. And I feel that what we sometimes not demand of Spirit, but want from Spirit that would be unquestionable is unquestionable, that they're already giving you the answer.
Yeah,
And
I have felt that the answer is becoming simpler.
yes, much simpler. And that's the avenue I want to say, that's where you build the trust of allowing it, not having to think it over and over. Just allow it. It's there. Go with it. And that's going to make the difference for you to really bring the harmony and allow you to have the calmness that you want to have. And that's going to make a huge difference. Remember something, and this is for everybody. Spirit will work with us in one particular fashion that we become good at. And then all of a sudden, we wonder why all of a sudden that backs off a bit and we're feeling something new and different. You've gone through that a bit yourself, of having one way of doing it that worked exceptionally well. And then you wonder why it backed off a bit, like, wait a minute, what's happening here? Why am I losing this a bit here? And you're not losing it, you're gaining another level of understanding and attunement. And to trust that attunement is very important. And that's what I'm seeing you coming to, is realizing that we're learning one way and we're not going to ever lose it. But they pull that back a little bit and they start on a new way of doing it. And then once we have that more mastered, then they start another way of doing it. And that's where I feel with you, you've been experiencing some of that. Don't ever feel that Spirit's taking anything away from us. They're not taking it away from us. What they're doing is supporting us in a new way. And we're needing to be flexible and allow it to happen. I've seen people that have thrown little fits that they were not as in tune in a certain way that they were used to, and they were being pushed in another direction, and they were resisting it. And all they're doing is resisting and holding themselves back. And we need to trust that and just let it occur.
Thank you. I find that to be very true. And actually, I was very pleased and happy to develop new things. So thank you.
I find that my teachers, to me, I realize in my life has really been a gift. And all of them taught me that the old style mediums, the really old style mediums, some of them had an attitude that if you're seeing it, that's all you're ever going to do is see it or hear it or feel it. And I found with my teachers, Dana Bailey always worked with me, and he was a wonderful man and a great medium, trance medium. And he'd say to me, he said, remember, what is ever the easiest way for Spirit to bring through the truth and message for the person that you're talking to or working with? If it is something they can do verbally, or they do it through sight, they do it through hearing, they do it through whatever form, whatever's going to work the best and the easiest and utilize the energy the best is what they're going to do. And I always learn to trust that anytime when I'm working, like I'm out at Inspiration Stump in Lilydale, and I'm working and I'm reading for different people, and I switch from person to person quickly. And I find that there's many times the whole energy with the first person, I may have felt it. And the second person, I heard it. And the third person, I'm feeling it. And it's something, and in the same person, in the same message, it may come through that I'm feeling the illnesses in their body. and I recognize it through feeling it. And then I can still verbalize the messages and the guidance that's there. So allow ourselves to be flexible and allow the feeling and sensing to be there. And don't doubt and question when you get these little tweaks of feelings with it that come in a little different way. That's a new way of doing it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Next one is Deborah.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Doing
Calling
good.
Good. Calling from Cleveland.
Cleveland. You got some cold weather and rainy?
Yep,
Uh-huh.
a little bit.
Yeah, I just talked to someone this morning from Cleveland, and they were saying about the rain and we're worried about it freezing.
Yeah, that's true. So I've been working with my mediumship. My strength, or what came easiest, has been clairvoyance and clairaudience.
Yes.
More recently, I have been working with feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that now I'm in a phase of just being open to trusting.
Yes.
So I feel very comfortable and just open to whatever new avenues that you talked about, new avenues that Spirit wants to open up.
Well, I think it's going to open up wonderfully, dear, and I feel your approach to it is perfect. And just to allow it to occur. And you have a woman in spirit with you that's on the spirit side. I don't know if I'm talking mother or grandmother, but I get an older lady. And as you were talking, I saw her right in front of your bookcase, and I'm seeing her there for you, and that she had a lot of ability in leadership, and not necessarily did she display it in a really public manner, but it was there.
Yeah, it's absolutely my grandmother. I don't go anywhere without her.
Well, she's with you because boy, oh boy, she was like popping right in. There was
Yeah.
a couple glances there. I couldn't even see the bookshelf.
Yeah.
And I see her with you, and your approach to what you're thinking about and how you're doing it, great. Go with it. The other energy I felt there, you're going to start having more occurring of what's going on in the body that you'd feel when you're talking to someone or sharing a message with them. If they have a bad knee, you may feel it. You may feel an energy around their chest or heart or something bothering them. Or if you're picking up on a reading for someone and their loved one is in the hospital and they're sick, you may pick up on things from that person, not only in a way that you can verbalize, but you may feel it in your own body. And I want to say, remember, when you feel it, my guides have always worked with me that I feel it enough to recognize what it is. And as soon as I recognize what it is, it disappears. It's gone. Because we're not needing to carry it. We're not needing to feel it beyond knowing what it is. And as soon as we know what it is, it dissipates. And I feel like you've been having some more happen that at moments you're wondering why you feel what you feel in your own body. And I want to say, remember, who were you thinking about? And what concern did you have for them? Because it opens the door to you feeling what's going on with them also.
Yes.
And you need to surround them in light because there's times you may feel more than you need to or want to feel. And I've had it happen where I've had the feelings and I was like, oh my God, I'm glad that's not mine. And you pray for them and send them healing.
Right. I've been doing more of white light and things of that nature in order to help to mediate those kinds of feelings that I can get bombarded with. So I am attempting to work with that.
I think that's great, dear. And I'll give you a little tool here that may help. When you're finding you're feeling too much, you just, in a sense, put it on pause. You step back from it, and you then surround it in light and prayer, and you put it in that white light, and you're going to change the energy there. And remember, feeling things, and I'll refer to it this way. Sometimes when I feel things, you could feel them too deeply. And put them at arm's reach where, okay, I'm aware of what it is. I know exactly what I'm feeling and what I need to share. And I want it to flood within me.
Mhm.
because we can keep it at arm's reach and have complete awareness and understanding without having to let it be truly in our heart and our body center of drain us.
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you. Good luck with everything there. Enjoy.
All right.
Next is Nancy.
Nancy.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
So I have a routine every day. I meditate
Mm-hmm.
and I pray, and then I ask for messages from the other side, anything that will help me through the day or help me in my life or my friends. And
Yeah.
then I go on to remove any obstacles or let me know about them ahead of time. And then sometimes something comes through, and other times it'll come through in 3 days, but I usually hear something.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a voice almost, but I don't know who it is or what it is, but if I
Well,
get anything.
let me say it this way. Has the accuracy been there with what you've heard?
Yes.
And would you recognize they've never given you a name?
No, they've never given me a name.
And I don't feel they ever will.
No.
They're wanting you to have the thought of that meditation in a sense of connecting with the higher power of God's energy. And they're ordained to step in and help you because their vibration and your vibration is matching, and they can help you in a verbal manner and guide you. And they'll continue to do so. And I feel an energy there that there are times you feel too much from some of the energies you're feeling. Would you understand some of it can be fatiguing for you?
Yes.
Because I see you having experiences of fatigue where there's a draw on your energy. And I want to say, let's step back and recalibrate the thought that if I'm picking up something for them, I am the channel or I am the conduit of that energy flow to them. And it's not a circumstance of you carrying that energy. Because what's happening here is it's sort of backwashing onto you and you're feeling it more. And there's a need for you to really clarify that's theirs. And we can pray for them and send them the energy necessary, but not be drained by the circumstances that are at hand. Because sometimes you're almost too open.
Okay. That makes sense. I
And
notice.
I see a balance coming of you being able to have that in a balanced manner without it being a drain to you.
Okay. That'll be good. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Next is Chris.
Chris.
Yeah, hi. I'm in a good place since I retired. Everything's just copacetic and moving through. I appreciated your remarks about how some methods change over time. I'd like to just spare some time for somebody else because I'm doing okay.
Well, let's share this with you, Chris. I feel like you're having a more in-depth energy of at moments feeling spirit in your own home.
Oh yeah, for sure, big time. Everything's very clear.
And I see them coming through in a very matter-of-fact manner, and it's a wonderful energy. And your mother's around you,
Yes, a
and
lot.
I see her energy where she's extremely happy for you to be doing what you're doing.
Which is nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, for everything you used to do and how crazy it used to be,
That's exactly how I feel. I feel it's okay. I'm letting it go.
I think it's absolutely wonderful. You're allowing yourself to regain a self-recognition and a self-balance that for a while was put to the test.
For sure.
And I also feel that you have at times thoughts about some of the people at work that you had worked with. And there's times you send them thought and energy to help heal and balance.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. And there's a gentleman in spirit that I believe is a brother energy that stands with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been coming in loud and clear.
Yeah, what does he have to say? He likes you. I know that.
Yeah, he's right here. And he said to me, he says, tell her to ring the bell He says, ring the bell, nice and loud. And to me, there was something about a bell that he had aboard a boat.
I've got a big Tibetan bell here that is too loud for the condo. Maybe he means that.
I feel that's it because he shows me ringing the bell.
Oh, okay.
And he said, you know, you don't have to do it in the middle of the night, but you can ring the bell.
That's true. Yeah, I can. I just have one quick thing that I'm
ahead.
concerned about. I have a medicine that I have to take. It's a very complicated medicine, and I feel that it sometimes is like it's now I'm on my way out. I'm phasing out. It puts me right out of my body. Is that getting in the way?
I feel it has at moments been in the way, but at other moments you've dealt with it very well.
Yeah, I'm trying.
And I see a balance here that I know spirit can bypass that and not allow that to have a negative effect on you. And that I know that you're already at moments having that happen where it's working well.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's a challenge. No, thank you.
It is a challenge, but I see it as something they're helping you with.
Okay.
And you, not too long ago, was thinking about a younger person that would have been connected to your brother, and you worry about her. And would you recognize there's a back and forth energy in how they want to live their lives?
Oh yeah, her or him. He's a trans man. Uh-huh.
And I feel the energy there of him wanting to talk to you and share with you more. There's something coming up about communications.
Oh, well, I'll give him a call. He just got married to a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to him lately since the wedding, so I
Yeah.
could try giving him a call.
Good. Good.
Thank you.
Hey, God bless you, dear. Good hearing from you.
You too.
Now
Next is
we've
Jean.
Jean. Hi, Jean.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's been, I'm enjoying listening to everybody's ways of doing things here, and I'm going to try to adopt some of these. It's
Good.
really chaotic around me, and it's really, really tough for me to rule out the physical things and have enough space for anything to come in. I've been getting some dreams that have come true like in a day or two, and it
Good.
shifts feelings. But as far as the hearing or seeing things, I haven't had that because there's too much other stuff pushing its way in. But
Well, think of it this way. I feel in a dream form, what they're doing is in a dream form, you're naturally sleeping. So when you're in a sleep state, that's about as calm as you're going to get. So they're working with you in that form, which I feel will manifest more in the conscious mind as time goes on, because you'll start to consciously, in almost a daydreaming way, have things come to you that would be like, well, why did I have that thought? And the event will occur. And they're showing me that transition, excuse me, transition from dream state, which I don't feel is going to stop. That's going to increase. It'll shift to more of a conscious level awareness. It's almost like a daydreaming feeling, but you're going to have things come to you, it'll pop in your head that you know was not your thinking. It was something the spirit gave you.
yeah, I've had that happen before. I mean, there's definitely a feeling. Sometimes you can feel it pushing against your head, or it just pushes its way in. I mean, there's no mistaking it.
Right. And that's where I see the clarity, and you're going to have that happen more often. And I want to say, welcome it, open the door to it, and put out the thought as you're going to work in the day or you're just dealing with a day at home, even put out the thought, please share with me in the current level of my life, what would be a guidance and a help to me. And that way things will move smoother, easier, and quicker.
Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you.
Next one is Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Hello. Can you
Hey,
hear me?
how you doing?
Very good.
Good. You been up to the Dale?
Yes. Yes.
Good.
I can't wait for you to come back in May.
Yeah, we'll be back in May, and that'll be, probably end of April, beginning of May, we'll get rolling. But that'll be good.
Um, I hope you don't mind if I ask a general question. I'm kind of concerned about this coronavirus thing. Do you feel that it's going to spread, and do you see people like quarantining themselves?
Well, I think some people already are, but I feel it's a good energy because it's waking people up. I would say this is a small problem compared to what could happen in the future. And for people to be aware of what to do and how to do is very important. And that's where I see people awakening now. There's a lot of people out there that just don't want to be responsible. And I see something where whether they're responsible on their own independently or they're being forced to be responsible, that's going to happen more.
So not to worry right now.
No,
about-
no big
okay,
concern.
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. God bless you. We've gone a little over time, and I think we got everybody on the list, didn't we? And here's the information to reach me or to connect for future classes. We got a couple things coming up here that are going to be fun, and we have a cruise for this coming year coming up, and that'll be a lot of fun. Also, it's on the internet, it's on the website, so you can check it out. Well, thank you all for coming and being here, and God bless you, and have a wonderful, wonderful night and morning. Take care.